Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel outside the target demographic. Today is a fun little challenge for me and a DIY for you, and that is a folding camp stove. Let's get started. For reasons beyond my control and comprehension, I have it in my mind that I want to make a camping tent stove out of a steel ammo can. But until I do, this will have to suffice. This is a attempt at making a mobile, foldable, lightweight camping stove. So these are all parts from Dollar Tree. We have 4 chopper scrapers and a collection of binder clips. We're going to roll in the science box here. We're looking at just about a pound, or a little bit less than 500 grams. And the idea behind this is you can take these clips off. These are $1.25 each at Dollar Tree, and then this collection is $1.25, so I'm in for less than $10. But these already have a curve built in them, which I figure will help them stand upright, even though they're not braced against each other. So what I can do is you can either put it on the outside wall, or for better stability, the inside wall. With these binder clips, you can build this in less than a minute. And you have a couple different configurations available to you. So this one's probably going to be the most stable way of doing it. The way I see it, these binder tabs are going to remain sticking out because they are longer than the hole is, which is fine because when I put a pot on it, that's actually going to allow a little bit of an air gap and allow the fire to flame around it instead of being extinguished. But this is setup number 1. We have setup number 2 will be on the outside. This is going to allow you to have more fuel on the fire, allowing it to burn more branches or bigger branches over a longer duration of time. So that's going to be a little bit bigger. And then here again, you'll fold those down, and you're still going to have these tabs acting as a way to prevent the pan from sitting directly on the stove. Another way I have it, I can remove those, and I believe I should be able to triangulate this guy. Beautiful. So I could even do it like that, right? And that's going to allow air to be sucked in and do kind of a rocket stove situation. But let's see, this one has the hoop-de-doop on the inside, so there we go. A slightly smaller, very stable. I mean, even trying to collapse this, it's not going anywhere. And again, these tabs are going to act as a way to allow the flame to come up over. And I suppose the last way I have in mind to do something like this, fold those over, and now I can use this as a rocket stove, and I can put all the twigs and branches horizontal on the ground, light them, and this is going to act as a chimney control and also give me a surface that I can cook on or heat stuff up on instead of putting it directly over a flame. So if I want to heat up rocks to heat up water or keep a tent warm or a survival shelter, something like that, I don't necessarily want it on the flame because now you have carbon buildup and it could make the moisture inside of those rocks explode and boo boo boo. So this is a way to heat something without directly putting it onto the flame. You saw the weight. The thing I like about this is it essentially folds up with only the items it uses as its packaging, in that I don't have to have a cloth case that can get ripped and torn, or unused materials that add weight and bulk, I can just clip all of these clips into place. It holds it together very well. Additionally, I've learned a typical Bic lighter fits quite nicely inside those cubbies. So I can put Bic lighters, I can put dryer lint, once appropriately wadded, in there. And I can load this whole tube up, right? So let's get into dimensions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We are 6 inches wide, and all folded down, we're looking at just over 7 inches by, let's see, about 3/4 of an inch is the widest part here. So I can stuff 3 of these full of lint all the way and then just use a stick to ramrod it out once I am going to start setting it up, so that 1, they don't, you know, catch on fire needlessly as the fire is going, and 2, I can just use the amount of bundle that I need. And then in here, I can put a Bic lighter here, a Bic lighter here, and then some matches on the inside. So you have a couple different storage options for a couple different items. I suppose if I wanted to go a little bit more into this, I could put a couple of metal rods in here. And now when I build this into a square, I could put the metal rods going across, and that would give me almost a barbecue grill kind of platform that smaller items could sit on without going into the flame. So relatively small, nice and lightweight. It is designed for scraping. This is magnetic, by the way. That's why I'm doing that. It is designed for scraping material off of, like a stove top or a griddle top, something like that. So it is designed for the heat. The thing I see with a lot of these camp stoves, and the reason I haven't really invested in a purchasable real one, is a lot of them will show you how shiny and cool they are, and they collapse down and fold up, and aren't they convenient? They never show you the aftermath. I imagine with the wood burning stove that I have in the house, and with an oven that everyone has, this is going to get very messy very quickly. So the fact that it can fold down and be collapsible in a shiny, non-used condition, sure, I imagine that's the case. But what happens when you rely on this thing and you've used it 10, 20, 30 times? Will the hinges still hold? Will they not warp with the thermal expansion and contractions? Boo, 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 boo. So this one is small enough, light enough. I know it can compact down, not necessarily into a pocket size, but very easily into a bag size. So this is a proof of concept. We'll see how well it works by taking it outside. And my intention is to pull some water out of the local creek, time it with the timer, and see how long it takes me to get this going. So let's head outside. So what I did, using the Bic lighter, I dug out a canyon, a crater. That's going to allow the air to be sucked through for the use of a rocket stove. So let's go ahead and pack it, light it, see what it does. You may recall from another video, this is a Temu fan, and I can really get that going. Maybe a little too much. So we're going to put on the lowest setting, a couple inches away, and that's going to help feed. Ooh, you can hear it roaring. Took a little bit of work to get it going. Now let's see if it can boil water. So admittedly, I do have to use my fan to give it a little bit more air, especially when I put the lid on. But we are about 2 minutes. That's at 1:57, by the way. I know that's strobing on my end. We're about 2 minutes in, and I'm already getting bubbles on the cast iron pan. The water is actually quite hot. It is a 43, 45 Fahrenheit degree day. So that water was like refrigerator cold, right? Refrigerators usually just about 46, 44 degrees. So we have refrigerator cold water. And it's already starting to run up the sidewall there. So It is a very good proof of concept. I would probably dig 4 channels for the air to flow in underneath, give you a little bit better burn, but so far I'm impressed. 4 minutes 45 seconds, and we now have an active boil. I'm surprised. Works surprisingly well. I'm sitting maybe 3 feet back, and gotta say, my legs are getting a little warm, so. As I said, you can use the clips staying upright to act as a air gap. And I did have a roaring boil going. Took less than 5 minutes to do it. Granted, not a large amount of water, but 2 cups of coffee. And got to enjoy a little bit of time outside. So I am impressed at how well this works. Admittedly, it may be worth cutting a hole at the bottom of all 4 so you have more of a rocket stove effect going on. Digging the trench in the ground is only effective if the ground is forgiving, but definitely works. Let's go ahead and extinguish it and tear it all down. Hello, Nora. So honestly, the damage isn't too terrible. I don't think they warped too much. Of course, it's only been used once. I imagine they would clean up okay, but even then the carbon is coming off. So we do have some metal discoloration. That's the one. But even the ink for the ruler is still there. So I would say it worked pretty well. Luckily, since these were literally scorching hot, I have a fire extinguisher right there. I was able to saturate it, get it all wet, and now I can tear it down. So proof of concept works pretty well. Nice little way for personal heating. And next up will be a rocket stove or camp stove out of a steel ammo can. So stay tuned for that. Today was a good day. So for less than $10, proof of concept worked 100% of the time. That is a data point 1 of 1. But customizable, collapsible, scale upable. As long as you have at least 3 sides, you're in business. If you go 4, 5, 6, you can put bigger pans on it with bigger burn loads and larger sticks and twigs and all. Numerous different types of fuels, kind of a rocket stove configuration. Again, all for the cost of less than $10. So I appreciate you guys hanging out. This was very interesting. I wasn't too sure that this would work, but I'm glad that it did. So, as always, this is outside the target demographic. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Any questions, comments, concerns you have, leave them in the comments section below, and I will catch you guys in the next video.